Hi, thanks for speaking to us. My first question is, what drew you to this project?
I was drawn to how weird it was. I really had no idea how to play it. I felt like it was, so many things fit into neat little genres, and this is, it's not just like a neat little story that just fits into this perfect little corner. It's like, it's a relationship drama. It's a dark comedy. It's an adventure. It's fantasy. It's like all these things, like sort of wrapped into one, and so it sort of takes you out of your idea of the story and your idea of the character, and just sort of places you in a scenario where you just have to react to what's going on and just let it be real. And so as real as it can be, and so that was the thing that sort of drew me in. It was just a wild story.
Yeah, similarly, I was drawn into it because I found it to be very unexpected and very weird. I liked the amount of genres that it sort of went in and out of, and I liked the way that it explored getting older and disappointment, and it did it in a way that I didn't even know that's what was getting explored. Like I too sort of went along with like, oh, it's a it's a murder mystery. Like, oh my God, it's a meditation on, oh my God, how the passage of time is painful. Right. Okay. Got it. Like it was really, I really liked how, how surprising it was and how original it was. And then knowing that Andy and Will were involved was like a no-brainer.
And, one of the fan favorite questions is, how did the actors create the chemistry? I have to ask you, did you create this? It's not quite an anti-chemistry, but it's this really in-depth, because you had to create this relationship that the audience has to believe it's been there for 10 years, and it's kind of cooled down a bit, the romance and the passion perhaps. But how do you create this realistic, declination of passion, or then also finding each other again?
Yeah. Look, I think it's a really interesting thing that, it feels like the kind of thing I've heard people express to me before, and I've definitely experienced, where nothing in a relationship is necessarily wrong, but it's also not right either.
Yeah.
And that's a sticky place to be in, because it feels like the things that aren't working are things that you shouldn't really be too obsessed with. It feels petty to be like, oh, well, I don't like this, I don't have this, and therefore I want out. And as just like a regular grown-up, you're just sort of like, well, you're entitled to a certain amount of happiness. It's like you don't get all the things. And so I think this relationship is sort of in that place where, it's like, especially I think speaking on Noah's behalf, it's like, okay, so it's not all great, but so much of it works. And is it really worth just throwing it all away, or blowing things up, or having that fight that could really break things in hopes that we would get to a place that was closer to where we were before. And I think as far as just creating the chemistry, this is like our second time playing a couple in distress. So, it's...
Yeah, and I think we both, I don't know, I think that I really trust Will, and I feel really like in great hands with Will, and I think that we're both interested in exploring things like, I don't know, like even in a scene, like we would just be so locked into each other and like try things. We would go this way really far and that way really far, and then come back, and like it's very, I think that's the way you have to treat a relationship like that. I don't know, now I feel like I'm not making sense, but like it just is kind of, we I think have like a very good shorthand, and so like it's helpful when exploring something that I think like requires care.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to speaking with us.